the Petal Cafe with your hosts, Biscuit and Cookie. I'm Biscuit.
And I'm Cookie. Grab a beverage or a snack and settle in as we talk about life, everything, and maybe Animal Crossing.
Hi, Cookies.
Hey, Biscuit.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. I was out in the sun for most of the day, and I am feeling all right. How about you?
It's been a busy couple of days, actually. It's the most I've spent outside since the weather's been getting really nice, which is really exciting. I was looking at the weather, and it looks like on our weekend, it's going to be super warm, which would be nice. Maybe I'll have sit outside and barbecue some things.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yes, I have a charcoal barbecue, and I'm very excited for it.
I have the tiniest little tabletop propane barbecue.
Yeah.
And it does all the things that it needs to do.
That's awesome.
Pretty excited.
I opted for the charcoal barbecue because I really like the flavor that comes with charcoal. So
I can appreciate that.
Other than walking today, how have you been?
A little up and down. Work has been a little bit stressful, but it's okay.
Yeah.
These things always ebb and flow, right? So
our lockdown was now extended.
Yeah.
For another 2 weeks. Although the numbers here are getting better, which is great.
It is.
I'm excited for when we no longer need lockdown.
Oh, I do have a piece of news. I am booked for my first vaccine on Friday. A few days from now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
I'm trying to get appointments.
It's hard. I have some tips for you I can share after our recording.
That would be lovely. So we have a bit of a change up this week, and I guess going forward.
Well, yeah, Animal Crossing's been kind of quiet.
It has. It definitely has. I have not actually really been playing Animal Crossing recently.
Me neither.
It's been I've been neglecting it, needless to say. I found myself enjoying and being engaged with other things, which is very fun. Games that you've started playing, which intrigued me. It took me a little bit longer to get into it, but I'm definitely enjoying it.
Okay, so before we jump into that, is there any Animal Crossing news that we should be covering?
I know that there's a lot of talk about the fact that the updates are just going to be very lackluster.
It kind of looks that way.
There's also talk of potentially getting an update to the museum where we're going to get the cafe, but that was mostly speculation on some of the streamers' parts.
It's all speculation for sure. Data mining is really fun for the purposes of speculation, but you could put a purple sky into code and never use it.
This is true. This is true. I wonder how much of the data mined information we're actually going to be able to use.
I don't know what the actual is there statistics anywhere about how much data mined information actually comes to fruition? I wonder if anyone's done a study on that.
I'm now curious as well.
Does anybody know, listeners? Does anybody know? There's a percentage out there? Because I'm feeling like it's something like 15% at the most.
Yeah. I wonder if the idea was there in the code, but maybe it's just not something they want to add, ever, or add at a later date. Maybe they have an idea for something, but they need to be able to work with other companies.
Right.
There's a lot of cooperation.
I really liked Sergio's perspective from Welcome to Haken. A few episodes ago, they were talking about, do we think that the updates are going to be anything substantial? And his perspective was probably not, and that all of the things that we're asking for, and it looks like they're preparing for, might be for the next Animal Crossing game, and not this one.
Interesting.
I thought that was a refreshing perspective, actually, because, you know what, this is definitely not the end of the franchise. It might be a while.
Yeah.
Because it was a while between the previous iterations of the game and this one. But based on the sales numbers, I doubt it's going to be quite as much of a gap as it was.
Do you think there's going to be another Animal Crossing game versus...
Oh, I think that there's definitely going to be another Animal Crossing game.
That's interesting. I mean, I don't know what they could do differently unless they do...
Well, that's just the thing. Before this game came out, people didn't really know what all they could do differently, right?
This is true. I mean, looking at New Leaf versus New Horizons, right? Like, there's such a vast difference in what you can do. And a lot of... I know I've been reading that a lot of characters from New Leaf are not even in New Horizons.
Right.
So maybe there'll be like a paid DLC instead of a new game, maybe.
I thought about that too, and I'd be open to it, to be honest.
I think that I would be okay with that too.
I'm always looking for reasons to give Nintendo money.
I mean, I get the 2 years of free updates. I think we got spoiled last year with all of the cool things that they like unloaded on us, like swimming and
right, like the major features were still being rolled out.
Yeah, and I think that's what people are expecting with these updates. And I don't disagree. I was one of those people that were thinking, oh, like, why wouldn't they just give me all of this stuff for free? And then I remembered that Nintendo's actually a business and they do want to make money.
Well, yes, and they have been for, more than 100 years. So it's not like this is their first rodeo. But it's also not their first rodeo with Animal Crossing. To me, this is definitely not the final installment of this franchise. We will see another one. And who knows what that one's going to look like. Maybe we'll get to choose a setting, or like, do we want a cityscape, or a waterfront, or like, who knows? Who knows what it could be.
Cityscape would be fun.
Maybe you have to select your first 5 NPCs.
Oh, interesting. That'd be interesting.
I'm really just brainstorming here, but there's actually quite a lot that they could do if they just break all the pieces apart.
Yeah.
Like 52 pickup and just see where it goes, right? I feel like that's what they did for this game.
And you know what? I liked the idea behind the island escape and having to build everything on your own. I would be interested in like playing like a city kind of Animal Crossing game. Kind of reminding me of like Zootopia a little bit,
Yeah.
In that respect, where like you can get a job and maybe and your villagers can get jobs if they want, or I think that'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea.
I still want to get all of the photos from all of the villagers. That is still definitely on my list of things to do.
Like all 400?
Like all 400 of them. But then that's like a long-term goal, right? Where I'm not going to get all of them at the same time. I think I will definitely keep going back to Animal Crossing just to fulfill that goal, as well as maybe if I have different ideas or if, the inspiration strikes me, I think it'll be fun.
I think, for a long-term goal, that's definitely long-term.
Yeah, I mean, how many photos can you get in the run of a couple of days? How many villagers can you go through? I am really far behind, so...
Can you imagine a photo completionist speedrun?
Oh my god. I feel like that would be hours of footage.
Hours and hours and hours.
Yeah. I feel like that...
Even if you weren't recording it. I mean, just doing it. Like, that is days of your life.
Yeah, that is definitely days of my life.
All right, so I'd say it's not like we didn't have any Animal Crossing to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I
think we still do.
I think that, going forward, we will touch on it, but it won't be the main dish.
So here's another cool thing.
Oh, what?
We got contacted by the founder of a site called FeedSpot, and they had added us to a list of the top 25 Animal Crossing podcasts based on a bunch of metrics and analytics, and in their estimation, put like active podcasts. So not only can I go on there and find new podcasts to listen to,
Yeah.
but I can go on there and find us. And that is just really neat.
That is really neat. When you forwarded me that email, I was like, wait, what?
I was like, is this a real thing?
we're on a list with like podcasts like Beyond Blathers and Haken. Like our teeny little podcast is ranked with the people of the awesome.
Right? And so we just wanted to put a link so that you can go and experience this goodness for yourself and check out some other very awesome podcasts.
We got the email. We were ranked at number 17, which was, I mean, I was over the moon about.
Absolutely.
Then checking it today, you had said we changed.
Yeah, we've actually slid upward to 11 at the moment, which is just mind-blowing to me.
Almost a year doing this podcast. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is episode 20, and that is a big deal. 20? 21.
We're working, this is 21, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Where does the time go?
I mean, wow. It doesn't feel like we've been doing this a year.
No.
I'm very excited to see what we find in the future of Animal Crossing and other things.
Here's to the future. Right, because let's just put it bluntly. Animal Crossing is a gateway drug. Introduced me and a lot of other first-time players to a whole different world of gaming. I had never played a sim before.
Oh, I've played Sims.
Let alone one that is so fantastical and adorable and engaging. Yeah. And surprise, and much to my surprise, there's more out there than just Animal Crossing, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, I've played Sims before. As I had Sims 3 and I have Sims 4. And I think that one of my favorite things on like The Sims is honestly the building aspect of it. I enjoy building the houses and the little, like, I would make bakeries and you name it, I've made it. I've made office buildings. Like, it was just fun.
Awesome.
It was just fun. I've played Sim City. I love Sim City. Just the building aspect of it is so much fun. Mm-hmm. But then Animal Crossing got me into the actually talking to. It made me want to play more games where I am building things, but I'm also interacting with other characters, like other NPCs. Like you said, it's a gateway game. It's completely a gateway game. It renewed my interest in Stardew Valley, for example. I've been playing Stardew for years. I lost interest. They updated the crap out of it, and now I'm learning about all the new updates that I can do. You introduced me into Cozy Grove.
I love Cozy Grove.
You do, and
I love it so much.
It took me a little while. I did buy it, and then I didn't play it yet. I gave myself time to digest and get into it, and then and now I'm on to day 6. So I haven't been playing very long because of Cozy Grove. Steam suggested me this other game called Kynseed, which is kind of a mashup between Cozy Grove and Stardew Valley. Oh. It's kind of like it's a mixture of the two games. It is an alpha, so it's a really early release of it. But it was really inexpensive. I was very happy with the price. And I get all of the updates, which is really awesome also.
Yeah, because you're sort of on the ground floor.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, there's going to be bugs, but it's just a fun little game where it has the pixelation of like Cozy Grove and the calmness and the serenity of Cozy Grove, but you do tasks like Cozy Grove. But then there's also farming, and so far all I've gotten is I'm exploring an area, a little town area.
Okay.
And that's as far as I've gotten, honestly. I think I've gotten further in Cozy Grove.
I mean, it's not nowhere. There's a lot of things I like about Cozy Grove, and I don't know how much of it I've already talked about on the podcast, but like I've been a fan of the development company Spryfox for years. They made some of my favorite games in the last, I don't know, 5-6 years, I guess.
Okay.
Specifically Alphabear 2. If you haven't played that game, oh my goodness.
I have not played this game.
Look it up.
Alphabear 2, I will look it up.
It is a mobile game primarily.
Okay.
It might be available on other platforms, but I'm not sure, so maybe we could check that out.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a Scrabble type game.
Okay.
But it's so much more than a Scrabble type game. And because if you've played Cozy Grove or you've seen the art of Cozy Grove, you know that these big squarish bears have pride of place in the world. They are consistent throughout a lot or almost all of the Spryfox games.
Oh, okay.
Like, the bears themselves are their brand. So Alphabear has, like, all of these ridiculous, muddled up bears, which are also something else.
Okay.
Or they're wearing silly costumes, and they all have different powers that apply to this word game. It's really cute.
Okay.
I recommend Alphabear.
I will.
And Alphabear 2.
We'll check that out.
So there was another game that I'm actually quite interested in that is going to be a part of the Wholesome Games showcase on June 12th.
Oh.
So this is a thing I found via Twitter, where in an E3 style presentation, a number of these games curated to be part of this Wholesome Games group. I don't know if it's promotion company or a distribution company, but they're doing this showcase on June 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a number of games which will be included, one of which is called Amber Isle.
Okay.
Now, Amber Isle is Animal Crossing inspired, but prehistoric. So you're all dinosaurs.
Okay.
And it's adorable. So it's being developed by Ambertail Games. If you don't follow them on Twitter, I recommend.
All right.
They're all just so cute. There have been a number of trailers put out so far, but I think they're probably trying to keep most of it under wraps as far as gameplay until the June 12th showcase. I am planning to watch that. It's going to be in my calendar. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to learning more about this game and what platforms it's going to be available on. There is some prototype gameplay available on YouTube, and it's just, I am so here for it. So in the meantime, to get my fix, and since I'm still a little burnt out on Animal Crossing New Horizons, I've been playing a lot of Cozy Grove. I'm actually on day 40, and I have not time traveled.
So you can time travel with Cozy Grove like Animal Crossing?
Only forward.
Okay.
So here's the thing: if you tend to time travel forward and back in Animal Crossing New Horizons, any backward travel might affect your Cozy Grove save file. Mm-hmm. So just be aware of potential corruption issues.
Interesting.
But you can go forward; you just can't go back again.
Okay.
So there are a couple of folks I have seen on the Cozy Grove subreddit, because of course there's one, who have played this game so much and traveled forward so much that they are on day 200.
Wow.
I'm on day 40, and I started playing the day after it came out.
Was that 40 days ago?
Apparently so.
Okay.
It's the only way I can keep track.
I opted for it through Steam versus on the Switch, and I'm on day 6, and I just play every day. It's on my computer.
One thing I like about Cozy Grove, though, is that if you miss a day, it doesn't affect you.
I do appreciate that. Appreciate that.
You don't have to go back to try and get that day, because the days are not attached to the calendar per se. They're in numerical sequence. So if I play day 40 on Tuesday and I don't play on Wednesday, then day 41 will still be the beginning of Thursday when I log in.
Wow.
Yeah, I really enjoy that.
Definitely think I like that a lot, because of the fact that if you get life busy, as we do, you don't feel like you've let your villagers down by not logging in.
Right, and you don't have to stress about it.
I
don't enjoy when Animal Crossing becomes stressful.
I stressed. Mm-hmm. I stressed. It wasn't a fun feeling, honestly.
No, I mean, these games are supposed to be enjoyable. Yeah. And that aspect is not enjoyable to me. So there are a few other things that I've discovered via being on the Cozy Grove subreddit, which is that the creators actually did an AMA in April.
Oh, okay.
So a bunch of folks asked some interesting questions, and they gave some interesting answers.
Cool.
For instance, did you know that from day to day, a character like an NPC might be colored or not colored, or they are colored but their area is not. There's actually a reasoning behind that. When you finish a task for an NPC, their world fills with color.
Yes.
Which is a really fantastic feature of this game. It's just so lovely. When you go back the next day, sometimes all of the color has leached away again. And the reasoning behind that is that they've now, like, 2 steps forward, 1 step back in their progress, resolving their unfinished business. Because these NPCs are spirits, and you are assisting them with their unfinished business. So, something has happened where they've had a memory or a mood shift, or something has reminded them of something that was unpleasant. They step back a few steps, so they lose some of their color.
Oh.
It's really interesting.
That is interesting. Because, I was, like, wondering why did, one of my little peoples, why did their entire area go backwards? And I'm like, but I've been doing all of their tasks.
Yep.
But I don't understand.
Yeah, so it's just part of the story.
Interesting. Because, one of my characters was colored, but their area wasn't. And I was like, what? I'm so confused.
Yeah, it's just they're at a different part of the process that day.
Interesting. Oh, that's cool. So does that mean, like, it goes, like, throughout the day they get less color?
No, I don't think you notice it until the next day.
Okay.
It doesn't, like, leach away.
Okay.
It's more of you come back the next day and something has shifted.
Interesting. Jeremy just said that he must have done something bad and made something so tacky and gaudy that the spirits of Cozy Grove decided to curse him for it.
Oh, Jeremy is adorable. So the characters' names, they have a moniker, which is like what you can call them if you don't remember what their names are, because their names are quite complex.
Yeah.
So the Sea Captain Bear is Captain Billweather Snout.
Yep.
And the Tree Bear is Francesca Duclaw.
Yep.
And the Maker Bear is Jeremy Gruffle.
Yes, he is.
They all have really excellent names.
They do have. I just unlocked Veronica Oro Fisher.
Oh, Valentina.
Valentina, that's what it is. See, I forgot her name already.
Yes.
Yeah, Valentina.
Yeah, but no spoilers. But yeah, she has a complex name.
Does have a complex name.
It's Oso Fisher.
Oso Fisher.
I don't know why it's Oso Fisher. It's hyphenated, and I'm sure there's a story there. There's a lot of really interesting little quirks about this game that they have put so much thought into.
Yeah.
But not only have they put so much thought into it, they are making quality of life updates like weekly. It's fantastic.
I haven't noticed any of the quality of life updates yet, but I'm really enjoying playing throughout the days.
So a couple of things that'll be different, so from when I started the game to when you started the game, is that the first few days, because the tasks are so much less demanding, have been like folded into one continuous session. But for me, I actually had to play them over 3 or 4 days.
There was a couple that I had to like play over a couple of days that required multiple days to finish, like picking up.
Right, and that'll continue. But the ability to, in the very beginning of the game, the ability to give Flamey multiple expansions right away.
Oh.
That wasn't something that I could do.
Interesting.
When I started the game. So those things have been, they've been taking player feedback and saying, well, maybe because those things aren't so demanding, maybe we can fold those things into a continuous session.
Because I've been able to give Flamey in one day, which is very good. I'm already was it level 7, I think?
I think that's what you said,
level 7.
So you're just getting there a little bit more quickly than I did.
Yeah.
Other things that they have recently changed are the ability to, when you're crafting multiple items, to determine the number of multiple items.
Oh, that's cool.
Because previously it was maximum and minimum only.
Oh.
It was either one or all. So, but now you can select the number of them that you want to make. And my favorite thing that they have implemented recently is the select next feature. So this game gets really cluttered, and not in a bad way, but it's sort of an overgrown atmosphere, and everything takes up a certain number of tiles, and it's an isometric view. It can get difficult to get around sometimes, and to choose the item you're trying to interact with gets a little clumsy. So they just this past week implemented this select next. So if you go to a flower pot that is not the one you want to harvest flowers from, you can now press X to select the next one.
Yeah, I have been using that actually. I didn't realize that was a new...
It is absolutely brand new. You couldn't do that before. You had to just move a little bit and press A again.
I didn't know that was a new thing because I'll be in the wrong way of something and then I hit the wrong item or something like that.
Exactly, yeah. And that was becoming very, very cumbersome the more crowded that the space gets as you place items and such.
Yeah, because the flower pots want to be beside each other.
Exactly. Pro tip, put your flowers beside each other.
Do that.
It makes them happy.
It does make them happy. So my backpack keeps getting full.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to fix this problem. I have no storage.
You need to expand your storage with Flamey.
I've been expanding my storage with Flamey. My next one is 25,000 old coins.
So there's a couple of things that you can do. You can start to sell second tier baked items, are generally worth a good amount of coins, such as mushroom tofu, deluxe greens, and the vegetable broth.
Okay.
Those things are all good to sell. And you would think that it would be better to sell even the next tier higher of items, but unless you need to craft them to donate to collections or because they're requested, I wouldn't necessarily recommend trying to sell them because even though, yes, they do sell for a good penny, it's not as much as it would be if you had submitted all of those components separately.
Interesting.
Just a few good things to know. If you need 25,000 coins stat, you can take some of your quartz gem stash and recycle them with Francesca.
Oh, because I have 500.
Yeah, you can recycle some of those. But split them first. Decide how many you want to bring to her for recycling and bring that because you can't select the number once you've engaged with her.
Francesca is the one. Which one's she again?
She's Tree Bear.
Tree Bear. Okay. See, you said this before, and I do wish that I had a map of Cozy Grove.
Mm-hmm.
That would be very awesome because I don't necessarily know where everybody is. And I keep wandering around, going,
for sure.
Also, splitting, you have to press the button a bunch of times instead of being able to split it literally in half.
Right, and I wonder if that's something that they will consider.
I would love to be able to split off a specific amount instead of having to keep pressing the button. Maybe if someone hasn't suggested that, I will suggest it.
Suggest it. I mean, they have been extremely responsive on Twitter, on Reddit, on email. The development team is absolutely 5-star.
Yeah.
They are so engaged and so, gentle with the feedback that they get. It's just fantastic. Cannot say enough good things about them.
I just got 40,000 old coins because I recycled 200 of my 600 gem thingies. That's crazy. I have 90. Also, I have 95 clothing spots, but I never buy any clothes.
That may change.
Maybe. Flamey's upgrading my tent right now. It's a lovely new tent.
Yes. So a lot of things about the island are going to change on their own.
Okay.
But that square area where your tent is quote unquote safe.
Okay.
Nothing that you put there is going to move or be interfered with by the magic of the island.
Okay, that's good.
My rocks moved again.
Oh, did they?
I'm getting the impression that they're moving approximately every 10 days.
Oh, okay. I can change my eye color and I can change my skin tone right now.
Yes. The ability to change your hairstyle doesn't come until you get your upgrade of Mr. Kit's shop.
So so he needs 200,000 old coins. That's the next upgrade for the
then I guess that's
deluxe
the one.
Okay. I could just recycle some more thingies because I have so many of them. I recycled 200 and I still have 529.
I mean, don't get rid of all of them.
No.
You will need them. But I had been doing, until I figured out some other things about which food items to sell. Thank you, Reddit. I was doing about half and half.
Okay.
I was converting about half my quartz to coins.
Again, I had 600 and then I only recycled 200 and I got 40,000. Then I got another 100 something back. So I will probably do half of the 500 again.
Right. It gives you a good cushion.
Good chunk of money.
And don't forget to redeem your badges and submit your items to the collection because those things are both also quite lucrative.
I've been doing the collection thing. I'm kind of excited to complete that if I ever will.
Yeah, there's a lot to donate and I think that's just freaking delightful.
Yeah. I'm really excited. I look at my collection and I'm like, okay, what have I not donated yet? What can I donate? What can I get some free money out of this guy for?
Exactly. So
okay, so I guess in a couple of days I'll be able to do the upgrade because I've got 80,000 right now.
Yeah, it won't take you long.
So I have another question. When you're throwing an item at, say, like a bird or an imp, right?
Yes.
The other imps like to steal it.
So they will approach it, but they will not steal it.
I had them steal it once.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it an imp who wanted the same item?
No, they didn't. They don't have anything above their head.
Well, that's something I have not encountered before.
Yeah, I was really kind of perturbed because I was like, but that was for the bird, not for you.
Maybe you need to get some more space between your birds and your imps.
Well, I can move the bird. There's just imps just sitting right beside my square, though.
Yeah.
So
I've
learned that burning things helps.
It does. Do you notice in the menu selection where you're looking at what you're going to quote-unquote burn, what it says at the bottom?
Select items to open flame.
Yeah, so what does that actually say?
Select items to apply a flame to in a less than rigorous manner.
Yes. Less than rigorous. As in, to call it burning, maybe an overstatement.
I was like, what?
Why is that funny? Because it's just ridiculously worded.
That is very ridiculously worded. I agree.
Imps are very impish creatures. I mean it actually, not just facetiously. Yeah. They like to involve themselves and cause mischief.
I noticed this. The mischief part. I definitely noticed the mischievous part. But then when you run near them, they run away. Also interesting. Look by a boat, checking the grass piles. I'm looking for like one more package.
If you absolutely cannot find it, you can ask Charlotte for directions, which is the most useful thing any game has ever put in.
I'm so happy for that because when I had to find something that the imps had stolen, I kept running after them, but I wasn't never catching the right ones. And then I got really frustrated, and I'm like, oh my god, which imp is this? So then I went to Charlotte, and she told me, which made my life a lot easier.
And the icons over their heads change.
Yeah,
they have something that you
I did notice that now.
This is how we learn. Lots of awesome tips and tricks have been making their way around the internets, and I am very pleased to share some of them. Not too many, you know. I don't want to interfere with anybody's discovery of this wonderful, lovely game. But I am here for tips and tricks if there's something that you're having trouble with.
Well, I will definitely take you up on that.
Yes, and any listeners who want to tweet at me, that's cool too. I will totally point you in the right direction.
Without giving you the answer?
As long as it's not further in the game than I am.
Yeah, so within reason of where you're at in the game.
Yes. By the time our podcast gets released, we'll say the first 45 days.
Okay. What's your favorite part of Cozy Grove so far?
I really like the story. The idea that you're on this deserted island and you have to help these souls find their rest is just, I don't know, it speaks to me in such a lovely way. There's such an innocence about it while still having these slightly dark elements, which highly appeals to my personality. Cookie met Cozy Grove and they lived happily ever after. Is there something in particular that you would say is your favorite thing about the game so far?
I have to say the music. Honestly,
oh yes,
I could do anything listening to this music. It's just it's so relaxing but then motivating at the same time. It's a very eclectic mix of sounds. It's so lovely.
It's really lovely.
I think that if Spryfox came out with like a soundtrack or a track or something like that, it was just all the Cozy Grove music, I'd be the first person to buy it.
I know that from reading the AMA, that is a thing that could happen.
Because I would just sit here and edit our podcast to Cozy Grove music.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Oh, I would love that.
But also, if you feel like you need something a little bit more engaging than the chill Cozy Grove music, guess what? You can turn the music down and keep the sound.
Also true.
That is a thing that certain other games I wish had that
feature.
So
like the music and the sound effects are separate entities in your...
Not only the music and the sound effects, but all of a sudden also the UI sounds. Because that slider was added this week.
Oh, was it? Interesting.
I'm so in love with this being able to listen to your game and other music at the same time is just mind-blowing.
So I guess the only thing that's left to talk about is the updates to our Twitch streaming, which have been a few, actually.
Right. So I have been streaming Cozy Grove on Wednesdays. And then on Sundays, we've been getting together with a friend and playing board games.
We have.
And guess how much fun that is?
Tons.
So much fun.
It is so much fun. So on Sundays, we play board games with Miss Martini, and it is so much fun. I think that we have another one lined up for this coming Sunday. And then on Mondays, Miss Martini and I have decided that we're going to do Among Us Mondays, which we have.
That's pretty funny.
We have invited Cookie to join us.
Cookie is a little reticent about getting involved in Among Us.
We're hoping that we can change her mind. And if anybody wants to play Among Us with us, please feel free to let us know.
Send us a note on Twitter or by email.
Yes.
To get into our Discord to be part of the planning.
And maybe if there's room, maybe people can join us on our board game days.
Yeah, sometimes some of the games that we play accept more than 3 or 4 people. So we have had the opportunity to play with viewers a couple of times now, and it's a lot of fun. It is a
lot of fun. I very much enjoyed.
We've had a lot of fun playing with our friends, both planned and spontaneous.
Yes. I've been playing some Pokemon Snap, and I think that I'm going to continue that on Friday, maybe. I might do some Cozy Grove and then some Pokemon Snap, or just maybe a lot of Pokemon Snap. I haven't quite decided yet, but we'll be streaming on Fridays to make sure it's opposite of Cookies, so our listeners can watch both of us if they choose to.
We are also hosting each other, and we are hosted by the Petal Cafe's Twitch account as well. So it's hard to miss us, but we appreciate all the follows.
Come follow us on Twitch.
We would love to have you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap up my Cozy Grove requests for today, Cookie.
That sounds great. I'm going to do the same. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Petal Cafe, a cozy podcast with your hosts Biscuit and Cookie.
I've been Biscuit.
And I've been Cookie. We post all the links to what we've talked about and referenced in this episode in the show notes.
Leave us a comment or a review on your favorite podcast platform. We would love to hear from you on Instagram or Twitter at The Petal Cafe, or you can send us an email at thepetalcafe@gmail.com.
We'd also love for you to join our subreddit at r/thepetalcafe and our Discord server, Just Ask Us How.
The Petal Cafe is produced by Petal Cafe Media with original music by John Stewart Campbell. See you next time.